part 60, whatever, of this long series on every country in GeoGuessr. So here we have Madagascar, which you can see, this is going to be a different one. There's no official coverage of Madagascar, that it says coverage in a few small parts. This one is actually pretty tough, you can see here that I have played it before without, much success at all, right? 6,400 points. Okay, so I guess we can start. Daily challenge settings again. Okay. So because there's only coverage of a few special locations, that I've seen this one before. This one is the palace in Antananarivo. Um, so right here, this is Antananarivo, and the only large city in the country and the capital. Okay, and if we zoom in, you can see here Queen's Palace. So I know it's around here. Not quite sure what we can use to show. Now, the reason why I know this is you can see there's a lot of stairs. There's this fencing I've seen before. I think. Um, let's see if there's any. There's a lot of camera meta on this on Madagascar, of course. Since it's a few locations with special coverage. Let's see. That's someone carrying rice. Okay, and we've got, we don't have to guess quickly, right? Like that. We've got, yeah, this is it. Like there's the hikers here. Um, you can see, obviously, not from around here, but that we have people coming to see, and that this is again the palace location, right? Yeah, yeah, and so this, if we didn't, if I didn't know anything about the location, this clinches that it's in Antananarivo is, that no other city in Madagascar is this large. Um, I think the second largest city in Madagascar has maybe 150,000 people, and Antananarivo has like 2 million or something like that. Um, as I remember, there hasn't been a census of the country in a long time, so the all figures are approximate. Yep, yeah. So another thing about this is that there's the appearance of natives of Madagascar is very different from on the mainland of Africa, and ultimately this traces from one of these odd facts of ethnology that it turns out that most of the ancestry of people from Madagascar comes from the opposite side of the Indian Ocean. That is, they look like they look like they're from Australia or Papua New Guinea or someplace like that. Um, and so so I got 4,991 points here. I didn't get the exact location, but yeah, that this is one of the things to keep in mind. If you play this map, is that that's an easy one. Oh, by the way, something that I want to check here is I'll open a new tab for it. What is the capital of Antananarivo? If I mean the population, if it's in here, yeah. So Antananarivo. Okay, we have population 2018 census 1.3 million. Okay. Yeah, I thought that there hadn't been a recent census in Madagascar. Maybe this one came out recently. Um, yeah, and so I'm going to make a guess here that the whole country, I'm going to say, has an area of 700,000 square kilometers. I think it's maybe like about the size of like Turkey or Ukraine or something like that, um, and that it has a population of 25 million. Okay, so let's see. So, and what do we get? We get 587,000 square kilometers. Okay, so not as big as I thought, but that's still, I think that's still similar to France. And population here, 2021 estimate is 28.4 million. Um, actually under demographics, it might actually list the, let's see, estimated at 26 million in 2018, which makes me think that on the article for Antananarivo that is actually not a census number, that's actually just another estimate. Um, but yeah. So 1.3 million is not unreasonable. It's not a particularly huge city. Okay, so we can close that tab and continue. Okay, so as I said, like there's a lot of camera meta. I don't know this one, but we have this guy. Um, we have a vehicle with a roof rack. It looks like, and another guy with this hat. Okay, and so this is kind of a dry savanna type environment, right? Oh, let's take a look at this thing by the side of the road. It looks like there's a boar in it. That those are often excellent for information. Okay, we have Madagascar National Parks, Réserve Spéciale uh, d'Entronomenai, or that the the language, that the Malagasy language, that is it's very different from African languages, as I said, because that not only does genetic testing show that the population is descended from people that crossed the Indian Ocean, but um, it turns out that Malagasy is a an Austronesian language, like Indonesian, Tagalog, or even Hawaiian is a Austronesian language. Um, okay, so Andronomini. Also, this coastline here has high precipitation. That's not where we are. Like this is a dry savanna area. So I would guess, that we're on this side of the island somewhere. Could be at the top, could be at the bottom. Um, there's the parks are marked here. Let's see if we can find this one. Andronomini. Okay. A lot of protected areas on the map. Um, I don't know what their status is. There are clearly populated areas inside of the green marked on the map. Um, yeah, not finding this one. Hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot to move it to a more reasonable location. I just plunked near Antananarivo, and of course the area around Antananarivo is it's on the other side. It's still in the rain shadow of like there's a mountain range on this side, um, produced I think by subduction under the coastline here. I'm not sure specifically what the geology is, but it looks like it. There's a range here, um, and that the at this range of latitudes, this is what's called the trade wind latitudes around the Tropic of Capricorn. That in this band of latitudes, the wind blows from the east, and so what happens is that a lot of the moisture from the Indian Ocean is deposited, in the coastal area when it reaches the mountains, and so on this side, it has more of a dry savanna appearance, like we saw. Um, and that, as I remember, like Antananarivo area is not as dry as further out in this direction. Um, so it made sense that one was on the west coast. And also, just a quick check, we have here it's marked as Minabe Antimena protected area. Okay, so um, yeah, I should mention here the uh, actually, was that it, Andronomena, or possibly Andreamena? Like, yeah, these names are, they're difficult to remember, right? That they're multisyllabic. They tend to be consonant vowel, and that the stress, as I remember, is kind of unusual in this language. And like I know, for instance, that this is pronounced Antananarivo, and the language is pronounced Malagasy. The stressed syllable can be in unusual locations. Okay, and also some syllables can be very weak. Um, okay, yeah, that this one definitely has some of the coolest scenery, that of any country on map on GeoGuessr, and part of it is that so much of it comes from park areas. Let's see if there's camera meta. There's looks like this is this a hard hat or yeah. I mean, I don't think they make pith helmets anymore. I mean, you sort of think of Livingston or someone wearing one of those. Um, okay, sedimentary rock, fairly um, rugged terrain, but yeah, it doesn't look particularly wet, which I think it would if we were actually on the coastline. But let's see, where would see the thing is, I thought that like the also that the hilly areas tended toward this side of the island, but this is clearly you can see down here it's grassland. Um, we're oh there's another guy, right? Um, yeah. Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. That guy also has one of those hats. Um, yeah. So here we have, a whole group of people. Yeah, there's the oh yeah, that's not a hard hat. That's a gilligan. Okay. So all right. So we got okay. So we're quite a bit up, Yeah, there's fields down here, right? You can see that there's differences in color. There's some straight lines, it looks like. So there's presumably some population down there. Um, that yeah, the population was estimated at 28 million for the entire island, which I said was similar in size to France. So there's plenty of space. There's it has France has more than twice that many people in a similar amount of space. Um, Also, in a less developed country, the apparent population density, can actually be a lot lower. There's just less built stuff per person. Okay, so it was down here, which, um, okay, you'll also notice that this is, again, a park area, Preserve du Tsarno, and that, yeah, so there's a lot of parks in this one. Um, and that's similar to the coverage in Kenya, for instance. A lot of the Kenya coverage is in parks. Um, but here it's much more pronounced because there is no official coverage. Okay, so here we have the sea to the west and southwest. Um, we have this guy, not from around here, it looks like, and someone again in a. Okay. Hmm. All right. So I think it's with the sea to the west, it's got to be this side, right? Um, let's see. There's a bay. There's a village down there. Not the kind of thing that it's not a serious town. That I know there's some coverage in one of the towns on this side. I want to say Toliara. Um, yeah, again, what I said with the people, that in Madagascar you encounter again people that look Australasian. That this guy, he's not as dark skinned as an African either, right? Looks more Asian. Um, okay, we've got these canoes. Okay, um, yeah, that again. If we didn't know it was Madagascar, like that would be another thing to look at. Is that although I've seen these in these sorts of canoes also in like Ghana, someplace like that. Um, yeah, I'm also wondering if maybe, again, this is in a park. Actually, this town is looking maybe larger than just a village, right? There's let's see, Toliara is on the sea. Maybe that's actually where we are. Yeah, I could go for that actually. Like maybe, let's see, does it look? Um, there's a nice bird there. Um, no, so it was not Toliara. It was 150 kilometers up the coast in Andavadwaka. Is that how that's pronounced? Probably. Okay, there's some hotels marked on here. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense that again that this is a touristy sort of spot, and that I think mostly the existence of coverage in Madagascar is since here there's no official coverage, is that it may actually be done by the tourism ministry or someone like that. Okay. Um, yeah, this looks like Toliara actually. That I've seen that coverage before, and yeah, it's very. There is something about the look that's really unusual. Like it's not what you normally expect for Africa. Okay, here French, is used, and but things have a very different appearance from Senegal. Also, that there's a mixture of French and local language, and that uh, Malagasy is actually spoken by the entire population of the island. That it's one of the largest languages in Africa, and that this is also because of the fact that the population came from across the Indian Ocean. That it happened not that long ago, um, and there's we know that linguistically because there's actually words of Sanskrit origin in Malagasy, which that indicates that the Austronesians that crossed the sea actually had contact with India, um, presumably from the expansion of Hinduism and Buddhism into Southeast Asia, and that, for instance, Hawaiian does not have that. That the Hawaiians left Asia much longer ago than the Malagasy people did. Okay, yeah, um, yeah. So I think this is going to be totally our that there's yeah, I think it's this area with the roads that intersect at right angles in the middle of the city. Yeah, another thing you'll notice here is that there's something that tells you that this is an unusually poor country, is that there are not that many motorized vehicles around. I mean, Bangladesh is very different from that. Like we have, you can see this guy. Uh, there's certainly some, but yeah, that you have these bicycle rickshaws. Um, we have Chez. Let's see. Yeah, again, there's indigenous language. Yeah, so we got um a good score, but we couldn't pick out the specific location in the city. Uh, so yeah, that when you encounter an area that looks like an urban location that looks like that, and that there's something about it that's very different from say Kenya or Nigeria or something like that. But it's hard to say exactly what it is, but something about the architecture and of course, the mixture. The main thing that tells you that it's Madagascar is the mixture of French and Malagasy language. That the Malagasy language. I'm yeah I'm not getting the stress on the name of the language right. It's Malagasy is so it's stress is next to the last syllable, which I guess is actually normal, right? That's sort of what you would expect if you didn't know anything, right? Um, but I know that that's not general for the language because that this I think is called Antananarivo. Um, okay, so well that beat my previous score, right? Yeah, 13,927 points. Um, I don't, given the limitations of the coverage, I might not actually do three games like before, but I think it deserves at least another one. Uh, yeah, you see, like there aren't that many locations. This is the same Queen's Palace. In fact, that's the same group of hikers that we saw before. Um, so yeah, so again, Antananarivo. Um, that we can see here. We zoom in on the center. We have Queen's Palace to the south, and then let's see. So before we had a location over near here, which I think is exactly the same as we saw before. Um, oh, something else you'll notice that's typical of countries at a very low level of economic development is that you can see in the close-up view there are all of these buildings that are not on a road at all. Um, that is there's some intricate network of paths between these um, that are probably not large enough, even they aren't even really set up for motor vehicles of any kind, right? That these are that it's a very pedestrian sort of city. Okay, so yep, all right. And so next round, okay, is this Toliara again? That's yeah, that's what it looks like. Biomog, Australia Fripp. Yeah, yeah. Here again, you can see that's Malagasy language. That it's as I said, it's consonant vowel. I believe all of the words end in a vowel or y. Um, and let's see. Yeah, that I've this by the way is that Toliara is a good place to that you can sometimes 5K these. Yeah, Tulear. Okay, that's um yeah, that's an alternate form of the name. Yeah, so that suggests that I think I'm right that the A at the end is weak or absent. Um, yeah, are there street signs? Not seeing any. Yeah, interesting poll also, like that's like the French section poll, isn't it? That you would of course expect to find that. There's some Arabic. Yeah, not what I would have expected. Um, oh, I've seen this thing before. There's, I think it's called a flamboyant or something like that. It's a commonly planted, landscaping thing in warmer climates. Um, like I think they have those in South Africa as well. Okay. Again, Tulear. Okay, so that seems to be more common as a form of the name. Um, yeah. You can see here also, let's see, phone numbers are a total of 9 digits. Yeah. So that's, not particularly distinctive. All right. Um, yep, here we have Lipanda. Okay. Um, so that's good to know that there's actually a mosque here, Mosque Hoja Shia Ithna Asheri Tulear. Um, okay, so Tulear is then written there with an acute over the e. All right. Um, hmm. Yeah, and oh yeah, there's the Chinese restaurant, right? Le Panda. Okay. Okay. Is this Tulear again? Let's see. Positra Malagasy. Uh, wait, that's a post office. It says, right? Bureau de Poste. Um, um, hmm. I'm also wondering if Positra might be the location, but I mean, this looks like it could be a smaller town like that. If it is, I don't know where this is. Yeah, also yeah, I think that this may also be in the uh, drier, West Coast sort of area, which again is consistent with Toliara. Oh, 32, yeah, I think they were 32 before, so this makes me think that maybe we're just in a different in a different area of the city. Um, let's see. Oh, Palmanova, Nuit de la Justice d'Ambaja. Justice Night? Venez nombreux. Spectacle, Sam, let's see, 2014. Um, yeah, that's I guess the cell phone company here, right? It's not Safaricom, so this is not Kenya. Um, yeah, again, limited supply of motorized vehicles. Um, Ambondra, yeah, that was there before, I think. Where's Ambondra? Um, yeah, I don't know it. Is it? I mean, I'm thinking that it's likely to be on one of the roads, right? Um, could it be up here near Mahajanga? I think. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's where it was. Okay. Yeah. So there's. Yeah. I knew. I should have thought of this. I've seen rounds up here before. That. Yeah. This is near the interestingly named Hellville. Um, you'll notice here Port de Nosy Bay. Nosy Bay is the name of this island. And I know that this is a touristy area here. Um, but yeah, so here it was actually on the mainland. Yeah, so here there's Ombandra. Um, and yeah, the large town up here actually is Antsiranana, right here. Right here. Okay. Um, okay. Here we have the Allée des Baobab. These are, the baobab trees, well known to everyone out there from The Little Prince, right? If you, some of you may have read that in French class. Um, Man taking picture of Google car taking picture of himself. Um, okay, the Allée des Baobab is a famous place, and I believe it's over near Toliara, or not. Um, yeah, I mean, I think it's over here someplace, but um, I know it's near of the roads. It's in, as I remember, it's in like a small reserve like this. Um, Perhaps it's closer to Antananarivo. Hmm. Ah, Baobab Avenue. Okay. Yeah. In fact, Allée des Baobab's protected area. That's um. Okay. So just for future reference. Okay. So it's near this road ending. Okay. So that's quite a bit north of Toliara. Like a few hundred kilometers away. Um, so here, this road goes to Morondava. Okay. Um, all right. So Baobab Avenue, right? So there's some roads there. Um, almost like bottles of something, like maybe this is a cafe, um, or a bar, right? Um, okay, so we're looking into it from the north. That's all right. 5K. All right. uh, Kiosk Bimpanonga. Okay. So I guess you could call that a shopping mall, right? That it's not that kind. It's more of a bazaar. But all right. So yeah. So I think yeah. So here we have. Oh, there's the guy with. Is that the same guy with the Gilligan, or is that just a well-known hat for the area? Also, where was that? Um, I think it was over somewhere in here, wasn't it? Like maybe near. Oh yeah, this is another one of the larger towns here. Is Fianarantsoa. I don't think I've seen it before. In around though. But yeah, so I think this is probably down in this area, and I'm unlikely to get a better clue. Um, again, this may be in a park. Let's see. Does Actually, this one might be a possibility. Mafana National Park is, and that this is it's quite inland. Like it's that I think that the wet area is it's confined fairly closely to the coast. Um, and something that to keep in mind also is that there's a bias where in areas with wet and dry seasons, there's a bias toward dry season coverage because um, the wet season, that you often have bad conditions for filming. Um, and that this also applies uh, to satellite coverage as well. Like that a lot of areas of the world, in satellite images look drier than they actually are. Um, for that reason. Yeah. Also, you'll notice the vegetation here is strange. Like this is probably a someone that knows more than I do about botany could probably immediately pick out that this is not the mainland of Africa. Yep. Okay. 113 kilometers. Yeah. So I did. So my memory was. Yeah. Yeah. So I. Yeah. That it's not. Oh, there's. Oh, it's Saranoro. That's right. That it was a little small park like that. Um. All right. So. Ooh, a silver. Okay. That, yeah, for the given the difficulty of Madagascar, yeah, I would say that's a very good performance. That I think that the way that you would get a gold on Madagascar would be that there are not that many locations. You'd end up after you played enough games, you would probably get one where you recognized everything. It's kind of like getting a gold on Laos, which I've actually done, and I think I actually do in the Laos stream earlier in the on the channel. All right, so yeah, I don't think I need to do a third game here. Um, so one more thing to check is what's the next one. So we look at oops, the ISO 31662 codes. Um, we can see that we have MG, right, for Madagascar. So Marshall Islands, probably not much coverage. North Macedonia is our next one. Okay, so yeah, we just did Montenegro, right? Like similar language to that one. So yeah, that should be a good one. All right, so thank you for watching, and have a nice day.